Hello and welcome. This is Nasreen Sheikh and you're watching It's Tomorrow News. Monsoon batters Punjab as state faces worst flood in 40 years. Madhya Pradesh low-lying areas at risk. The Bhakra Nangal Dam considered a key factor in making farmers of Punjab in India prosperous, as this year brought misery for people of the state. Punjab is facing its worst flood in 40 years. Flood situation remained critical in Punjab today. Torrential rains in the neighbouring Himachal Pradesh led to inflow of around 3,11,130 cubic water into Bhakra Dam. The water level went up to 1,681.33 feet. In the reservoir, this was much more than what experts say is safer level of water storage in the reservoir. Keeping safety of the dam in view, authorities in Punjab released 19,000 cubic water through the spillway gates. The Bhakra Bias Management Board today explained the situation, saying that a lower level of water storage in the dam will avoid flood-like situation in many districts, including Roopnagar, Ludhiana, Jalandhar, Moa and Firozpur in Punjab. The authorities have now decided to decrease the reservoir water levels at least by 5 feet to handle any possibilities of future floods. The state continues to grapple with the aftermath of incessant rains, as more than 300 villages in Ropur, Jalandhar and Firozpur district of Punjab are badly affected by overflowing Satluj River. The deluge has damaged crops over thousands of acres of land. Scores of villagers are watching the flood situation anxiously, with thousands of them spending nights on rooftops. The monsoon rains have remained unstoppable in Madhya Pradesh since second half of July, and more heavy spells to the tune of 60 to 80 millimeter are likely to hit the state, which could cause some trouble in the low-lying areas. According to meteorologists, the low-pressure areas is over East Uttar Pradesh and adjoining Bihar. The system is moving southwards towards the state of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. In the wake of this movement, rain and thunder shower activities would continue in many parts for at least next 3 to 4 days, with intensity varying between light and moderate. A few days spells to the tune of 60 to 80 millimeter may also hit the state, causing some trouble in the low-lying areas. During the last 24 hours as well, many parts of the state have observed moderate rains with 1 or 2 heavy spells, wherein Khajuraho recorded 62 millimeter rains, Guna 41 millimeter, Raisen 29 millimeter. These rains will continue for the next few days as well. However, severe weather activities such as extremely heavy rains are not likely, and hence severe flooding is ruled out. The weather in most parts would remain pleasant and comfortable, with on and off rain until August 25. Thereafter, rainfall activities will taper over the region and continue with light intensity only. Thus, it is likely to say that the month is going to end on a good note in terms of monsoon activities for the state. On Wednesday, Yamuna's water level started receding. However, the river continues to flow above the danger mark. In the wake of overflowing water, the rain traffic over the old Yamuna bridge was suspended on Tuesday night. However, with water level easing out, the rail traffic operations were resumed on Wednesday at 4:25 p.m. with speed limit restricted to 20 km per hour. The level of water is expected to recede further. This is because Haryana has not released water from the Hathni Kund Barrage in excess quantity until now. Only 10,000 cubic of water was released at 4 p.m. The southern state of Kerala has received good rains in the last 24 hours now. Manali-Leh highway closed due to landslides. Yamuna continues to flow above danger mark in Delhi. Fresh landslides struck in Himachal Pradesh Kulu district on Wednesday, blocking traffic on one of the major highways in the state, while the Yamuna continued to flow over the danger mark in Delhi, officials said. In Uttarakhand, a helicopter engaged in relief and rescue operation in rain-ravaged Uttarkashi district crashed, killing all 3 persons on board. Fresh landslides struck Himachal Pradesh Kulu district on Wednesday, blocking traffic on the Manali-Leh highway, police said. The landslides occurred at Marhi between Manali and Rohtang at around 11:30 a.m. Kulu. Several roads which were blocked in Kulu district due to landslides and flash floods triggered by heavy rains were opened for light vehicles on Wednesday, police said. Torrential rains in the Mori area of the district caused large-scale damage and demolished a number of houses on Sunday. 16 persons were killed and around half a dozen went missing. Army helicopters were pressed into service to airdrop food packets in the flood-hit village of Punjab's Jalandhar district, as they remained inundated because of breaches in the eastern embankment of the Satluj River. Many parts of Odisha are likely to be lashed by heavy rainfall in the next 4 days, as India Meteorological Department said. A monsoon through line extending from East Uttar Pradesh to North Tamil Nadu through Odisha is likely to trigger heavy rain in many areas of the state, it is said a weather bulletin. The water level of the Yamuna had started receding in the national capital, but the river was still flowing above the danger mark, an official said. According to the flood control room, the water level came down to 206.50 meters at 5 pm from 206.60 meters at 2 pm. The river breached the danger mark of 205.33 meters on Monday. Due to inundation of the low-lying areas, over 15,000 people living in the Yamuna floodplains were shifted to the tents set up by various government agencies, officials said. A low-intensity quake shook Himachal Pradesh. The river breached the danger mark of 205.33 meters on Monday due to inundation of the low-lying areas. Over 15,000 people living in the Yamuna floodplains were shifted to the tents set up by various government agencies, officials said. A low-intensity quake shook Himachal Pradesh Chamba district on Tuesday. Tropical depression Chantal stays in the North Atlantic. With the peak of hurricane season approaching, meteorologists are closely monitoring the Atlantic basin for signs of development, and there are some locations close to the United States that bear watching over the next couple of weeks. When Chantal was named, it became the highest latitude named storm formation for an Atlantic tropical cyclone since Alberto in 1988, according to officials. The Atlantic hurricane season peaks around September 11 on average during the next couple of weeks. The risk of additional tropical storm and hurricane formation increased substantially from its midsummer. Chantal is centered more than 500 miles south-southeast of Cape Race, Newfoundland, and it's moving east 20 miles per hour. The tropical depression is to threat to any land area, and it's expected to become a remnant low in about 3 to 5 days as it turns southward. The formation location of Chantal was at 40.2 degree north latitude, making it the fastest north tropical cyclone has formed in the Atlantic since Alberto in 1988, according to tropical scientists at Colorado State University. The last named storm in the Atlantic basin was Barry, which briefly became a hurricane before making landfall in Louisiana on July 13. Last weekend, the National Hurricane Center highlighted an area of disturbed weather near the southeast coast of the US for a low chance of tropical development. The system's proximity to land hindered its ability to become better organized at that time. The NHC continued to track the system for a very low chance of tropical development as it moved further out to sea on Monday and Tuesday. Late Tuesday evening, forecaster at the NHC remarked that the system had become better organized with a well-defined circulation center and had tropical storm force winds. A batch of showers and thunderstorms associated with a weak tropical disturbance or wave located near Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula is forecast to move over the center and western Gulf of Mexico's late this week. Part of the upper Gulf Coast has been hammered with heavy rainfall from a non-tropical feature during the first part of this week. There is only a remote chance of the Gulf feature to reach depression status before moving inland, since wind shear is forecast to be substantial over its path over the warm waters. Another area of concern that has caught the attention of forecaster is a cluster of thunderstorm over the eastern and southern Bahamas associated with a weak disturbance that develops this week. Sea surface temperatures are sufficiently warm for development, but wind shear is likely to inhibit development into this weekend. However, close proximity to the coast and shearing winds could guide such a feature onshore into the US. Meanwhile, batches of thunderstorms will continue to move westward from Africa every few days. These tropical waves make up the backbone of the hurricane season. As the level of dry air, dust and wind shear gradually diminish over the basin in the next few weeks, not only will be the potential for a tropical development increase, but perhaps the risk of explosive organization and strengthening of new formed system. Tropical storm Bailu to unleash strong winds, flooding downpour on Taiwan, China, Philippines later this week. On the heels of four tropical cyclones that made landfall in eastern Asia thus far in August, a new tropical threat has developed in the western Pacific Ocean. A tropical depression took shape over the Philippine Sea on Tuesday and strengthened to tropical storm Bailu at midweek. The storm is known as Inang in the Philippines. Bailu is forecast to trek towards the northwest in the coming days, keeping the storm over the open waters of the Philippine Sea and allowing it to strengthen. As the storm strengthens, seas will turn increasingly rough and dangerous for shipping interests from the northern Philippines to Taiwan. A northwest trek in the coming days will take the strengthening tropical cyclone toward Taiwan and eastern China. Bailu is expected to become a strong tropical storm and may even produce winds equal to a Category 1 hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean prior to reaching Taiwan. There is a small chance that Bailu could briefly reach typhoon strength during this time. The trek of Bailu will put Taiwan at risk for the direct hit by as early as Saturday afternoon, with strong winds and downpours arriving on Friday night or Saturday morning. A landfalling tropical storm in Taiwan would bring impacts ranging from heavy rainfall to damaging winds and mudslides. Rough seas and surf would also be a concern for eastern-facing coastal locations. Areas from eastern Guangdong to southern Zhejiang and Jiangxi are at risk for impacts from Bailu, depending the exact track of the storm. Bailu is forecast to weaken over eastern China. However, some of its moisture will likely to be pulled northeastwards next week, resulting in several days of downpours across Japan. The outer rain bands of tropical storm Lan and the southwest monsoon are expected to trigger rain in parts of Luzon and the Visayas on Thursday, August 22. In a bulletin issued 11 p.m. on Wednesday, August 21, the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Service Administration said Inega is already 970 kilometers east of Infanta Quezon or 900 kilometers east of Quezon Aurora. It accelerated and is now moving northwest at 25 km per hour from the previous 15 km per hour. The tropical storm maintained strength with maximum winds of 65 km per hour and gustiness of up to 80 km per hour, but it is now seen to possibly intensity further into a severe tropical storm while inside the Philippine area of responsibility. There are no tropical cyclone wind signals raised at the moment. Since length remains far from land, it is also unlikely to make landfall. That's all for now. For more news updates, stay tuned with us. It's Tomorrow News, Nasreen Sheikh. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe.